and welcome. And thanks for joining us.
Yeah, because I'm going to be here in the warm climate for a few fun Shui Fridays.
Yay. You should be able to find some really fun glasses down there.
I think so, yeah. I mean, this is only day 2, so.
Right. Yeah, well, you just got there, so.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Very cool. And taking a deep breath, you can feel the humidity, I have no doubt.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah. And your body just goes, oh, walking along a beach. Oh, I can't. Yeah. I'll have to really work on my imagination for that one.
Yeah, it was so nice.
It's been a while.
The feet in the sand and the ocean waves.
Yeah.
And just.
Exactly. Which is really funny because I was, of course, we are, by the way, all in alignment with Anita. She's the one in the sleeveless, and Cheryl. And we're wearing our glasses.
I can put a sweater on if you want.
No, it's okay. I'm envious, and everybody else can enjoy your cute top. So
yeah. Good morning, Janet. Good morning.
Hello,
Janet. Come on in. Welcome, welcome.
Exactly. So we are Anita and Cheryl, all in alignment, and this is Feng Shui Friday. Yay!
And we get to have some fun. Okay, so Cheryl has the card deck because I didn't bring mine. Good morning, Sharon.
We always, our topic is chosen for us. Let's just say, shuffle the deck. I've had 3 cards, literally. The first one flew out and shot right across my office floor. So it's an important one apparently today. And then the other 2 dropped at the same time. So, but we choose our topic, or the topic chooses us, from the Feng Shui Personal Paradise card deck by Tara Gathering Cards.
Woo! Good morning, Cheryl.
So we got a few joining us. Good morning, ladies.
Yeah, we got a few joining us. You bet.
That's awesome. Well, the first card that came flying out was the number 4 card, crystals. And then, did you get to see that? I can't tell if there's a time delay for us.
Yeah. Crystals.
And then the number 18 card, living rooms. And the number 30 card, bedroom. And I'm just chuckling to myself. I know exactly why crystals came up, because I was, what do I want to wear for earrings today? I think I want to wear my chakra crystal earrings. So I know that one was coming up. And then I'm looking at you. Are you in, because we know you're in Mexico. Are you in?
So I'm actually in the living room right now.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And I can't go outside because they're doing construction next door.
Right.
And there's a big cement truck outside. So yeah.
That's all good.
Next week I'll be on the rooftop. I'll show you what that looks like.
The view. Perfect. Okay, so I kind of thought you might be in the living room or the bedroom. So
well,
obviously,
yeah, I was in the bedroom earlier today when we did the other Zoom. To get away from the noise, and now I'm in the living room. So perfect. So it makes sense why that came up, and then bedrooms came up. But anyway, we'll see how these 3 flow together. It's funny because when I saw crystals, I thought, oh, I wonder if Anita needs to do some energy clearing or grounding in her space. You know, quite possibly, but just a moment. Let me be right back.
As she disappears from the screen, she's gone to grab something. So I'm thinking she found something on her walk already.
Well, you know what? When I was on the beach this morning early, because the time difference is an hour.
Right.
So we're 10:30 a.m. here. So I was on the beach at 7 a.m. So 3.5 hours ago. Yeah. And you know, I found just a few little cute things.
Oh, sea glass.
Yeah. Yay. So that could be kind of the crystal thing that came up. Yeah, I found quite a few little goodies. Actually, this one here, it's a rock, but it has some crystal in it.
It looks like it's got quartz in it, maybe.
Yep.
Nice.
So there you go. That's why that all came up. And yeah.
Well, let's talk about those. So you're there for a little while.
Yep.
Instead of bundling them up and putting them in your suitcase to come home, how could you utilize them in a space that really isn't, it's your dwelling for the time frame? So I think this is great. This is a great topic because they can be used in the living room. It can be used in the bedroom, which converts both of those. But how could you utilize something like that? Like the crystal, like the sea glass, nature objects, for lack of a better term, to help harmonize and create balance and groundedness in a space that you're renting.
Well, you know, there are a lot of snowbirds here, right? And we've been here before many times and have friends and whatever. And so what they do actually, everyone that comes regularly that has their own place or whatever, they actually have usually in the living room some kind of a glass container, a bowl or something, and they put their collection of sea glass and little rocks or whatever, and it just makes a beautiful display. And then when they're ready to go home, they take whatever they want to take home, the treasured ones, and leave the rest behind. And so that is kind of interesting that those cards did come up, because when we do travel, it doesn't matter where you travel,
right?
You have an opportunity to change up the living room or the bedroom, right?
Absolutely.
So that you can then have a better sleep, and actually, so this living room, like I said, this is day 2, but this living room right now is not set up for people.
Hello. Oh, okay.
It's set up for the TV,
Oh, the focal point.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. And so actually this morning, was it this morning? Yeah. I said to my husband, I said, there's no coffee table.
Interesting.
And so if we wanted to sit here, it's got some beautiful furniture, and it's comfortable furniture, but there's no place for me to set my coffee cup
or a glass of wine
or whatever. So then where do you go sit? Then you go sit at the dining room table, right? So the living room, it's supposed to be a more comfortable space where you can relax and have that conversation. But this living room, like I say, the furniture is very nice and comfortable, but it's all positioned around the television, and not having the coffee table or end tables to put your things.
That's
it's not that warm, inviting space.
No, isn't that interesting?
So I'll be rearranging some things. Absolutely, right?
Yeah, you don't have to stay with what you have. It's your space for the time frame, so utilize it, right?
And then the same with the bedroom. Yeah, I don't think there's much we could do in there. I'll have to give it some thought, but anyways, like I say, because this is the start of day 2, so.
Right.
But it definitely is an opportunity to enhance the space in a different way. Like we don't have to have it just the way it was, right? Because we can always put stuff back.
Exactly.
And that reminds me, Tara Catherine Collins, our teacher mentor, when her and her husband for 3+ years
traveled,
they were house sitting all across the country. And so she said that what she would do is she would go in there and take pictures of all the rooms, if they were in a house for a month or something like that. And then she would move things around.
She would feng shui it.
to make it more safe and comfortable. Yeah. And then when was their time up, then she would look at the pictures and say, oh yeah, that has to go back here and that has to go back there.
Well, she'd move it back, but often they'd say, leave it. We like it.
Yep. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning, Kathy. Nice to have you ladies join us.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're talking about today temporary spaces that we can be in. I don't want to say rental because all kinds of scenarios, because obviously Anita is in a warmer climate than me at the moment, so tells you she's not at home. And the cards that came up were living room, bedroom, and crystals. And of course, this morning on her walk, she already found some treasures. And those treasures, so I want to go back a little bit and talk about the importance of those treasures. So if you would pick up that sea glass, do you still have it handy, that piece of sea glass?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So when you found this, or when it caught your attention, what kind of mood were you in?
Oh, well, actually it was interesting because Calvin was with me, my husband. We were both walking, and so I'm a faster walker and I like to walk farther. So we got to a point and he said, okay, I'm going to stop here. You go on and then I'll wait for you over here. And I said, okay. I said, I'm just going to go see what treasures the sea has for me this morning. And he said, and I said, yeah, I said, I'm going to see if there's some sea glass. And he said, oh, like this one? And he looked, he looked down and this was right in front of him.
Wow. Wow. So that's a really cool moment and memory, right?
Yeah.
So now having that with you in the space brings back that memory and those emotions, whether or not you realize it. And we talk about this often, that snapshot of the moment in which something came into your possession, right? So if your living room got treasures around it, like Anita and Calvin's sea glass, that's going to enhance that. Look what was right at my feet. The time we were in. So even when you're back in your own home, that memory is being reinforced by that article, by that piece of sea glass.
Yeah, and actually, so we could actually say this was Calvin's first piece of sea glass, right? Because I don't know that he's ever, picked up sea glass before.
And that's a big piece.
I picked it up, but he's the one that spotted it.
Right.
So anyways, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just reading some of the comments here. Wendy is saying, congratulations on your grandbaby.
Thank you, Wendy. We're pretty excited.
Yeah. And you know what? There might be some kind of crystal energy around the birth of the baby.
Oh, right? 100%.
What's the crystal energy for
444?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's totally angelic realm. Like,
oh yeah,
out in my
444.
444. So pretty special little man.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah, very cool.
And you know what? Let's go back to talk about those temporary spaces.
Yes.
About the bedrooms, because I was just thinking about something else that came to mind was another one of our feng shui colleagues and teachers, mentors is I need crystal memory and energy here. Karen Carusco.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah. So she says that when she goes like traveling to hotel rooms or whatever, she always brings her blessing bowl.
Right.
And she clears the space, the energy of the room, and she always uses the same amount of ingredients with the Epsom salts and the rubbing alcohol. She always uses exactly the same amount. She has little containers. And when she goes into a hotel room, she clears the space of the hotel room. And she said sometimes it's amazing how the flame will burn out very quickly. which indicates that the space is pretty clear, but most often,
yes,
it burns for a longer time. And so then she has an opportunity to clear that unseen energy in the space. And then she also, and I know Tara does this, I know our friend Dr. Amber Wolf does this, when they travel, they also bring a some kind of a scarf or decorative something, so that they can hang over the TV, so that it puts it to sleep at night, so that they have a better time sleeping. Right.
Yeah, I've even used my house coat.
Yeah.
I've used whatever, I've used shirts, I've used whatever I got handy. If it's a mirror or a TV, it gets covered.
Yeah.
Which quite often, hotel rooms, the TV's right across from the bed. I haven't been in one where it's not. It's nice if it's within the contains of a TV cabinet and you can just simply close the doors. That's my preferred methodology, but lots of them don't have that kind of space.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. So what else can we do? We talked about shifting around the furniture. We talked about covering the TV, bringing in some crystals. So there's lots of little things that you can take with you if you're doing some traveling, really. And I like the idea of, it might be a little bit more challenging now with travel, taking alcohol with you kind of thing.
Right.
So I like the idea of, and I've used in the past, actually, when you and I were traveling a lot, I had a little vaporizer. And we had essential oils with us. So we would utilize the essential oils to clean the space. Because you certainly don't want to light some incense and set off the smoke system, the smoke detectors, and the fire alarms and everything else. Because most places now are outfitted that there's no smoking in the rooms.
And maybe also crystal energy could clear the space.
Yes.
Right.
100%.
Yep.
And then it's clearing the crystals. So potentials that you could take with you along Karen's lines is you can still take that sea salt, which sea salt is a great way to clear your crystals. You'd just be using it in a little different modality instead of using it as the 5-element clearing method, which is what Anita was referring to that Karen uses. Utilizing that same little bag of sea salt, having your crystals in it and clearing the space with the crystals, right? Up and down, clapping. There's so many ways you can clear a space that is foreign to you. Because that unseen residue.
Yeah, and you know what? Nelia made a comment. She covers the mirror too, really important. And Wendy asked a question, why is that? And I think, Wendy, you were referring to why do you want to cover the TV, and that would be the same for mirrors, is because TVs are very active, and in a hotel room you have a smaller confined space, and so the TV is, subconsciously talking to you and saying, hello, don't you want to turn me on? Because I have 225 channels and I could keep you up all night. It's that talking to. And then also when the TV is off, it acts like a mirror, which reflects and retracts the light. And so any little bits of light fragments that come in can also disrupt your sleep pattern. They might reflect the alarm clock or that kind of thing. And same with mirrors. So if you want to have a great sleep in a hotel room or even in someone else's house, a guest room,
absolutely,
then you know what, just come prepared with a scarf or something that you can throw over the TV, throw over the mirror.
Exactly. I'm seeing you reading questions. Anything else that we want to address in the questions?
Let's see what else. Yeah, and Kathy says bring your own crystals, because that's it gives you comfort. That's familiar. Absolutely. And Wendy asked a question way back here. What is the best thing to do to bring in abundance and prosperity in the home? Oh, well, you know what? Again, we're talking about crystals and living room spaces. And what you can do, Wendy, and I don't know that we've talked about this before, but you can actually make a what we call a blessing bowl or an abundance bowl. I have one at home, and it's just a beautiful glass bowl, and I have some beautiful rocks and crystals. I have some quartz crystals and some other crystals in there. I have what do I have in there? A little turtle, a black onyx turtle. I have some coins. And again, it's just a collection of things that have deep, special meaning for me. And then they have been infused with my intention.
Yes.
And it's called my abundance bowl. And I have it in the living room. And again, it's in the wealth and prosperity area of the living room to anchor and kind of magnetize that. But then, you know, when I'm sitting in my own living room at home, then I have that abundance bowl, and it doesn't matter who looks at it. It brings beautiful energy. So we're constantly circulating that positive energy around there.
So let's talk about that for a second, because even that piece of sea salt or sea glass that you have, right? So Anita and her husband are away. That
we're practicing retirement.
Indicative, right? Indicative of the abundance that flows into their life, that they can be a snowbird. It's indicative of the abundance of Mother Nature, giving them gift literally at Calvin's feet. The treasures are right at your feet. So there's so many intentions already infused into that little piece of sea glass that can be in an abundance bowl. Whatever is a representation for you of abundance and fills your heart, right? That the memories with it, those are the important aspects of it. Ideally, if you can put it, like Anita said, in her living room, she has hers in the wealth and prosperity area. So we've talked about the Bagua a lot. There's all kinds of information out there on our website and stuff like that about the wealth and prosperity area. Suffice it to say, when you're standing in the entrance or the doorway into Anita's living room right now, the abundance area would be, or the wealth and prosperity, she'd put her left hand in and she'd move it all around. She's looking at it right now. Or are you?
Yeah, no, Calvin's asking me something. Actually, you know what? I'm sitting in the wealth and prosperity area of the living room.
Perfect. Perfect. So it's a great place for her for creating that bowl of all the abundance and prosperity that they're enjoying on their pre-retirement extravaganza. We'll call it.
And Wendy says, what about leaving something close to the front door? Absolutely. You could put your abundance bowl there. And you want to put it in an active area. So absolutely, the front entrance, you know, the living room would be a great place to do that.
As long as there's not a mirror behind it that's taking all that abundance and pushing it right out the door.
Right.
Any other comments before we talk about the numerology?
Okay, what about the cards, Cheryl? Do you want to tally them up?
So we've got a 4 and a 3 is 7 and 18 is 9, 9 and 7 is 16, a 7.
Ooh.
Talk about abundance off the bat. Let me get to mine.
That's a bit of a spiritual day.
Yeah, you think, right?
Yeah, Wendy, mirrors at the front door, they depending, so if you're walking in to your front door and you walk right towards the mirror is actually deflecting or pushing the good chi back out the door. So it's saying, hello, come on in, and then go away. So it's kind of like that thing we talked about last week about the getting those mixed messages.
Yes, exactly. Cool. Great questions, though. We love this because you're engaged, and we think we know what we're talking about. We think we're making sense, but you asking questions shows that we need to have a little bit more clarity. So keep them coming. That's awesome. So I have grabbed the Double Digitology book, Marilyn and Joy, Adrain and Company, to pull up what number 7 is. And I'm just going to read the bullet points. You can go grab your own book off of Amazon or their website. The 7 is about being in the head, intuition, inner wisdom, analyzing, spirituality and practicality, paying attention to your foundation, which we've really addressed a lot of that, especially in a temporary location. So your foundation is where you're sleeping, where you're at, the present place you're in. Going within, logical explanations, and learning from the cycles of life. So those are some of the points. Being in constant communication with your own angelic realm or guidance.
I love that. And again, that goes back to that crystal energy,
Yep,
right? That
you betcha.
connection to that unseen, unknown energy.
And that unseen is way more powerful. So if we were to ever go back in our belief systems, and if you ever uttered the phrase, I'll believe it when I see it, catch yourself. See it, believe it, and then you'll see it. I actually think that's one of the names of Dr. Wayne Dyer's books.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Or something along those lines. So any last questions or comments we need to address before we wrap up today?
Just the link for the Double Digitology, but I'm putting it in there now.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for joining us live. I love the questions. I love seeing my friend and feng shui partner in such a beautiful location with a big smile on her face. Yay. And she's not dressed like I am.
Yeah. I'm sorry that it's minus 20 something there.
Yeah, I know you're not. But anyway, you're happy to be where you're at, and that's a good thing. It is where I am. I am where I am, as Popeye would say. I am what I am. Thank you for joining us. Share this out. Send us some love, pop in your questions. And of course, our past episodes are on our Facebook page, group. Everything is also on YouTube. If you've got questions for us, pop them in. Make a comment, share things out. We love having you join us. It just makes it's like we're talking to a whole bunch of people at the same time. It's fun.
Absolutely. Okay, everybody have a sunshiny day because the sun is always shining behind the clouds. I know that for sure.
Have fun out there. Don't get too much sunburn.
Okay. Bye-bye for now.